Patience to the prime, 747, 24/7, 361 degrees.
Coon, 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 coon.
What's going on? Boom. Salutations to the primes. Just doing a little check-in with y'all. Now we are at the eve of perihelion. We are at the eve of perihelion. It's the 28th, but today's date in the codex is actually 13/22/28. So I want to talk about that real quick. Peace and love wherever y'all at across the nation, across the universe, across the world. Three Eye Atlas Star Chronicles. So after after tomorrow, we won't be seeing we won't be able to see Three Eye Atlas because it's going to be basically behind the sun. Now, we had a conjunction with Three Eye Atlas on October 21st. That's when they did the spectroscopic analysis, and it was an infrared scan and a lot of other things that they checked out about it. Now, what we found out is that it's in the interior is hollow. Basically, the weight it doesn't match up. You know, it's composed of nickel. It should be with iron. They haven't found no iron, no basically no iron. So if you think about like a star or like a star when it supernovas out, when it explodes, it lets out different materials like iron and nickel. These are byproducts of when a sun or sun supernovas out, explodes out. So what they found is that the whole Three Eye Atlas is mostly constructed of nickel and it's hollow at that. So, along with the hollow nature, you find that it has 127 meters. Each 127 meters, you have different intervals of construction. So that again is of artificial nature. Okay. It was many other things that were anomalies that we end up finding out about Three Eye Atlas. When it when it came into our solar system, it came upon the elliptic plane. All right. Now, if you think about the elliptic plane is where all the planets sit on. Now, if you would come into our solar system, if you were any type of species of intelligent origin or whatever, you would literally come in our solar system on the elliptic plane. All right. It gives you perfect sight of each and every planet. All right. Not only that, if you think about the trajectory of it, it moved from what some consider Sagittarius. It didn't really come from Sagittarius. All right. It actually came from another star system other than Sagittarius, but we can go with Sagittarius, right? So when it came in, it had perfect view of Mars, it had perfect view of Earth, and it also had perfect view of Mercury and Venus. All right, just coming in. And it's as it moves through our solar system, it's going to end up at Jupiter. Now you might say, well, that's the last stop, Jupiter. Now you might say, well, why would it want to stop at Jupiter? Why wouldn't they want to stop at Earth? Listen, if I was an extraterrestrial species, right? If I'm any type of extraterrestrial species of a higher intelligent origin, okay, why would I want to come to Earth? First of all, it's a bunch of sickness here. And then you got 700 and 700, what was it, 7,140,000,000, roughly about 8 billion people that may not like you. All right. So why would you actually come to Earth? You know what I'm saying? Not only that, you might have to compensate for the gravity. If you're not from this planet, the gravitation would be different. You know, let's say, for instance, if you used to a planet with 5G or something like that, you would probably be extra stronger. Or if you used to a planet that has a lesser gravity than ours, then you'll probably be weaker. You get what I'm saying? So it's a couple things that you would have to analyze before you would probably even come on this planet. All right. And then also, like I said, the nature of the beings on the planet, you would have to really, figure out if it's worth your while to actually engage with these beings. All right. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Everybody can hear me loud and clear. All right. What's up, Coom? Salutations. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know. Let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear so I can continue the discussion. Peace to the Messiahs. Peace to everybody that supports the movement. I'm broadcasting off my phone right now. I felt the need to really check in. It was really like one of those moments. Peace. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear? All right. I got a coom. I got one coom. Can y'all hear me? Peace, love, and light. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? YouTube, Facebook, wherever y'all watching me at. Can y'all hear me loud and clear? I can hear. Charmaine Cuff said I can hear loud and clear. Shout out to Charmaine. I support your podcast. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing, Charmaine. And I love the purple hair too. Yo, all right, I got a yes. Look at this. We are at the eve of perihelion. All right. Everything is lining up. Everything is totally lining up. All right. Three Eye Atlas is about to be its closest approach to the sun. Okay. Now, what's so deep about this, even what's so even more deep about it is that being as though we at this eve of perihelion, it's 132228 in the codex. It's 132228 in the codex. It is all lined up. I need people to pay attention. Time started over. I explained this 8 years ago. Time started over in the year 2017. All right. All the numbers add up to one. All right. One and zero, which is a form of binary. Okay. Now, as you move along, you'll see all the numbers add up to 2, 3, 4, 2017, 2018, 2019. It keeps on adding up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why I said the time started over. That's one thing that that's code is cracked. So at the end of year 2017, or should I say, or at the beginning of the year 2017, we came into the 11th month and the 11th day, which was January 1st. That's binary 111. That's all I'm using is binary. I'm not using a Gregorian system. All right. Now from January, you got 31. That's the 1 through 31. That logged the clock of the 1 through 31, which is the breathe in to breathe out. Then you move on to February. February dealt with the feminine principle because that brought you back to the 7, which was 28 days. All right. Those same 28 days connected up to the 12th month because February didn't become the second month. it became the 12th month because January was the 11th month. All right. And then March 1st so happened to be the 13th month and the first day. That's when we came into the new calendar of what we call information, or we came into the age of technology. Some may call it Aquarius, but we are not in the age of Aquarius. We're not in the zoology no more. Everything is a form of technology. You have been sped up exponentially. And 3I Atlas, you know what it stands for? 3I Atlas stands for third eye Atlas. It's your third eye. 3I. 3I Atlas stands for third eye Atlas. All right. And Atlas is actually asteroid terrestrial last impact system. That's what it is. And the eye, the eye is not really interstellar. The eye represents the third eye. So 3I Atlas is actually the opening of the third eye. The third eye. We live in a mainframe consciousness. We live in a mainframe consciousness. I've been breaking that down for so long. We are in the age of information. Everything that you thought or perceived to be reality is no more. It has been literally shattered. It has been shattered. We have been growing exponentially. If you think about with the arrival of AI. You think about it with the arrival of AI and how we're utilizing AI. Okay, we're going to utilize AI for so many things to solve our problems. And one of the biggest problem that we're going to solve is the fact of going to the grocery store. You know what I mean? It's going to be a time where you're not going to be having to go to the grocery store no more. You're going to be able to develop these things. You're going to be able to grow these things. You're going to be able to curate these things. All right. And in your own home, in your own backyard. I'm telling you, this is the rise of your power. 3I Atlas is the third eye Atlas. And the Atlas is a map. Atlas is a map. So it's a map to the third eye. Now, like I said, we are at the eve of perihelion. Perihelion happens tomorrow. That's when 3I, the third eye will be at its closest point to the sun. Do you hear me? The third eye, or what you consider to be the third interstellar object, will be at its closest point to the sun, and that's the perihelion. Now, it's moving along the elliptic plane of our solar system. It's moving along the belly, the belly, the belly. The elliptic plane is the belly of the solar system. All right. So the belly means to give birth. The belly literally means to give birth. So as it's moving through the belly of the solar system, guess what? When it reaches perihelion tomorrow at the 29th day, guess what? We come into 141, which is the 14th month in the first day. The 14th month in the first day of the solar calendar. Because hear me out, we came into the new age of information. When I say solar, I don't mean solar like how you think, like SOLAR. No, I don't mean that. Sol is a Latin word for sun, and R is an Arabic word or a Hebrew word to mean fire. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is a solar, SOULAR, the soul that is on fire, the soul that is igniting. That's what's happening right now. All right. So we have come into a new solar age. And you call it the age of Aquarius. It's not the age of Aquarius, it's the age of information. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to Lorraine Muhammad. Listen, can I get a share if you care? 10 shares if you care. Look, we are in the age of information. It is 11:11 right now. Coom. 11:11. Look, the age of information means that you must be in information to reach your apotheosis. All right, for real, for real. Stop playing around and thinking that you're going to YouTube any decision that you will make internally to reach your higher self. It's not going to happen. All right, you need to have a decision within oneself in order to reach these potential points. All right, and that right now deals with your observational node. All right. Collectively, we form the body of the returning Messiah. Like I told y'all, it is no Jesus coming for you. It is no dude cracking the sky coming out of wherever coming for you. The only thing that's going to crack the sky is the sky of your mind. It's the sky of your heavens. That's when you're going to get your head cracked with the truth. When you understand that who you are is a higher perception of reality, having an experience here on this earth. And in order, or what you call the earth is actually a void of sort. And in order to reach your apotheosis, it's time to tap into a theocratical society. Now, in a theocratical society, all of us operate as this body of this returning savior. Like I said, each one of us is important. If I ask you, what's your birthday is not really a birthday. Your birthday is really a log date, how you logged in space and time, because you made a decision on how to come on this planet. And the planet is ran by a network time protocol, which is affectionately called an NTP. All your computers run on it. Everything that you see that's running on nature is running on a network time protocol. And so are you. And that's the 1 through 31. Because if I ask you what is your birthday is going to flow between a 1 and 31 number. Or you're going to say, well, what about the year? Nobody knows what year it is. You can't tell me what year it is because you don't know the birth of the universe. You don't know the specific moment that man was charting down or anything was keeping record of when this galaxy or when the solar system or when existence was born. So we don't know the year. The only thing we know is the cycle of things. All right. And that same cycle is to breathe in and to breathe out. You also call it the tick and tock of metronome, which connects with the rhythm of life. All right. So all of these are connected up to the third eye atlas. The third eye atlas is three eye atlas. It's three eye. Three eye is really 31. 31 is who you call El. El in Gematria. In Gematria, when you use 31, because if I put three eye, a lot of people thought it was 31 atlas. That's what I thought when I start looking at it, and still and until I start seeing it without the capital letter. So yeah, I'm like, yeah, the reason why, because 31, so you'll know that 31 represents the source in Gematria. Aleph is 1, and Lamed represents 30. But Lamed or El represents the highest perception of your mind. Because anytime y'all say any word with the letter L, love, levitate, live, even to lose, or even to you can say life. What do you have to do with your tongue? Your tongue has to reach the roof of your mouth. It has to reach the heavens. And the number 12 is symbolic of the heavens. If you go to Revelations chapter 12, or if you switch it around and go to 21, in Revelations chapter 21, it speaks of a new heaven coming to the earth. And this within this new heaven, an angel coming down. And you know what the angel is? The angel is the angles. Now, nobody ever explained to you what the angle is. The angle is the tetrahedron when you see at the corner of the box, the cornerstone that they all rejected. That's the cornerstone that is at the edge of the box. The box is the box mentality that they got us trapped in. Religion, with who you think you are personifying as yourself. This is not it. I'm telling you, it is all a misconception of who you truly are. So that same box, you start looking through the corner, and that corner was the prism to create the visible light, because they use a prism or a prison to entrap your mind with light. They use the same prism or prison to refract the seven colors of the rainbow that you see before you. They use that, and that same prison is the perception of your mind. That is all what it is. And that became the mind trick or the matrix that had you trapped in the box of Saturn, because Saturn was Satan. Saturn was Satan, who became chronology, who became Chronos. Saturn, Satan, Chronos, they're all the same thing. And he took the image of Caesar Borgia. That's why when you look at Saturn, Saturn looks pale. Saturn looks pale because when you also look at the white image of Christ, he looks pale, and that's the image of Saturn and also Satan. All right. Now, moving forward to Three Eye Atlas into the year what you perceive to be 2025, it is not. Today's date in the codex is actually 13/22/28. All right, meaning that we are back to the seven. We are moving back to the seven, which is harmony. Being in harmony is being with the seven, because life or everything was created in the node of seven. Even your body, when you go down to pray to the most high, or what you consider to be the most high, you tap 7 points of yourself in order to tap in. All right. So all of this is connected to your third eye atlas, because it's your third eye atlas is your map. It is your map, your star map, in order to tap in. Now, I broke this down a long time ago, and I'll break it down again so I can show y'all. I'm going to step out of the car real quick. Listen, this is your star map. Don't let nobody deceive you about anything. Look, this is your star map. Now, people, stop acting like the energies are not around you. These things are not around you at all times. They're always around you. All right. Let me see if I can do it real quick. My fault. I'm trying to set up my phone. All right. Let me see. There it is. Y'all got it? All right, look. I want y'all to pay attention. This is your star map. You don't need no NASA. You don't need nobody to tell you how to tap into any portion of the universe. You can communicate with your galactical ancestors. All right, that have traveled the stars, and they still exist within you. All right, look. Excuse me. Uh, all right, here it is. All right, cool. Y'all see it now. Look. First of all, you got to know it's 361 degrees in your circle. So if it's 361, you operating from the dot. So if you operating from the dot, everything is from your center point. Remember that. Everything comes from your center point. So now you have a plane of 180 degrees. You see that? 180 degrees, that's your plane. 180 degrees. Now you got 180 degrees on the bottom, 180 degrees on top, and 180 degrees on the bottom. So that's 360 degrees plus the one, which is the dot that you're measuring from. All right. So now you know that you can tap into any portion of the universe, any portion of it you can tap into with the numbers that correspond with it. A lot of times, whether you know it or not, your higher self is speaking to you when you walk through or when you move through the mainframe. You might see different numbers pop up and they keep on corresponding. You be like, why is this number keep on popping up? Because it's a different portion of the galaxy. All right. So if you know each and every degree of perception, you're able to measure it. You get what I'm saying? Because you got number one is 20 degrees. See, one is 20 degrees, two is 40 degrees, three is 60 degrees, four is 80 degrees, five is 100 degrees. You see that? That's 100 degrees. That's 100 degrees. That's the number five. Number six is 120 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Number seven is 140 degrees. Number eight is 160, and number nine is back to 180 degrees. You got 180. That's on top. That's your star map. And it's the same thing from the bottom. 20, 40, 60, 80 to 100, 120, 140, 160, 180. That's the nine. You get what I'm saying? So all of these are connected. You are the star map, and you have the ability to tune yourself into each and every energy that you would like to tap into. You know what I'm saying? Just that was just something real quick. I only want probably 3 minutes of your time before I let y'all go. All right, because we all got to handle some business real quick. One, thank you. One, I need y'all to know this. You have the star map. Three Eye Atlas is your third eye atlas. This is a mainframe consciousness. This is a mainframe consciousness. All right. When third eye atlas reaches perihelion tomorrow, we are coming into the 14th month and the first day. in the 29th node. 29 means to start, or it means to stop. It means to start or to stop, because according to our codex, the number 29 represents ST, the letters ST. Now, when you go from 1 through 31, you'll find out that each and every alphabet letter is actually a corresponding data format. All right. You'll notice that each one of them represent an application or a node of sort from 1 through 26. At 26, you received the key maker, the key, because the key was at the letter Z. Z, Z. And that sound of Z is actually the sound of the keys in vibration, the key being manifested. That's the key. That's the letter Z. So you know what's going on. So you're able to crack the code. The key at the 26th was the 26,000 thousand years of procession that we move throughout the Milky Way galaxy. It's saying that time is starting over. So at the end of 26, you receive five sacred letters, all right, which was Ra, Ra, which was GH that came after Z. The GH is Ghaforu. It represents the Holy Spirit, all right, or the spirit of immunities. Then you got SH, which is the 28th. That's the 28th letter, SH. It deals with the feminine principle. All right. Then you got after 28, you got 29, which is stop or start, ST, which represents the secret keeper. Now, these are all numbers that correspond with the codex. All right. Then you got two other sacred letters, and those sacred letters are called Limel and Lamel, and that represents a palindrome. A palindrome is frontwards and backwards, meaning like the word level. No matter how you spell the word level, you still got to say level. And no matter how you spell the word lamel, you still got to say the word lamel. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Lamel. It's a palindrome name, a palindrome number. All right. So all of these correspond. Those are the five extra or sacred letters that you got within the age of information after you received the keys at Z, at the letter Z. Because at the letter Z, you actually woke up from your Z's, which was your sleep or the disease that they gave you, because you knew that you are the healing factor. You knew you can heal yourself from anything. Like the earth is a component of medical um, um, it is a medical depository for anything that you need to heal yourself. So you knew these things, and you was able to tap into these things, and all of these things started to radiate through you. All right, but those are the five higher principles that gave you the sacred name, LML, Lamel. All right, and a sacred number, which is 131. Because again, if I ask you, what is your log date? You logged in space and time. You wasn't born in this world. You think you was born into this world, but you wasn't. You actually logged into this world at a certain time so you can fulfill a certain purpose. All right. So I'm gonna leave you with one more thing. So we are at the eve of perihelion. Perihelion happens tomorrow. All right. Now, when it goes behind the sun, it's going to do a little dance, and after that, it's going to have a trajectory where it's going to head towards Jupiter. Okay. So Third Eye Atlas in the month of March, like around March 16th or something like that, it's going to be at Jupiter. Now, you might say, well, why would it go to Jupiter and not Earth? Come pick us up. The reason why, because let's say, for instance, if I go, Jupiter has many moons. They're like probably 120 something moons. I mean, they keep on confirming new moons with Jupiter. All right. But the four basic moons, one of them is called Ganymede. Ganymede actually has magnetic atmosphere or something like that. it has a basically an atmosphere attached to it, and also Ganymede has water. So if I was thinking about, and coming to this galaxy or coming to this solar system, I would actually go to Jupiter before I would go to Earth, because all the resources, if I have an intergalactical ship and I'm able to, travel through the stars, where would I go first? I would go somewhere that has water, that I can, get some water. All right. Yo, listen, the water, they're going to Ganymede to get the water. So that way they can supplement their whole or they can basically, galvanize their whole movement, because once you have water you have everything else. And then not only that, if you look at the asteroid belt that comes between Jupiter and Mars, there go all the resources that you need, like far as alloys. You can mine the asteroids, and you can mine different things in space, different debris in space for the alloys that you need in order to build your society. So you don't have to go to Earth and drain Earth's resources. You can go to somewhere that's fair ground. And then who's going to touch you? Who's really going to mess with you if you are really somewhere set up a couple planets away? All right. So that's something that everyone should think about as well. All right. But I'm gonna leave you with this. Okay. It said in the book of Revelations, there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth, because the first earth and the first heaven has passed away. This says this. It says this in the book of Revelations, chapter 21. All right. So moving from chapter 20 to 21, it talks about all the points that I'm speaking on right now. If there's going to be a new heaven and if there's going to be a new earth, what happened to the first heaven and what happened to the first earth? That's what I want to know. And where was the first heaven and where was the first earth if there's going to be such a new heaven and a new earth? That's something to think about. We are on the cusp of something extraordinary. Now, this this phenomena, like I said, for it to be revolving on its axis 8 point something 7 hours, like on the dot, for it to be having 127 meters of intervals, different intervals, for it to be hollow, for it to be made of nickel, for its weight of the object, it doesn't. These things aren't add up for you thinking it's an interstellar comet. It's not adding up. All right. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. But my theory is that it's a technological advanced society, because once you reach a certain level, why why do you need these bodies? Why do I need this body right here? I'm gonna keep it real. Why do I need this body? Once I reach a certain level of height of consciousness, I would transfer my body into different things, into different mediums. You know what I'm saying? Keep it real. I would transfer my body into different mediums. So that's what I want y'all to pay attention to. And it's no reason for it to come in our solar system and land upon the elliptic plane of all the planets. Of all the planets. The look on the elliptic plane, you got the sun in the middle and you got the elliptic plane where all the planets are on this whole like elliptic plane. Why would you come into our solar system moving faster than the planet Earth, like 40 kilometers per second? Why would you come in our whole solar system and you would just come on that same elliptic plane and also have a conjunction with the planet Earth on September? No, excuse me, October 21st. That conjunction is when we actually did the spectroscopic analysis. Why? All right. So I'm gonna leave y'all with that, man. I love y'all. I love y'all. For anybody that's in the Charlotte area, please, we are looking for volunteers. We're looking for people to help us feed the people. We're going to be feeding the people December 21st. So if you are in the Charlotte area, if you would like to be in the Charlotte area, if you would like to help us out, please, we're looking for volunteers to help us feed the people. As you know, Tawala is a 501c3 nonprofit charitable educational organization. And, we're here to serve the people. We're here to serve the people. We're here to help the community. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make a difference. So if you are in the Charlotte area, we're looking for help. We're looking for also you can donate too. I'll put the Cash App, you know, you can I'll give you an address where you don't even have to send us money. You can buy the items. If I know people don't be trusting things nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You can buy the items. You can buy the cups and plates and stuff like that. You can buy certain perishables that we need in order to help us feed the people. All right. I'm putting the Cash App in there, and I'm doing a GoFundMe that should be happening pretty soon. But like I said, if you are in the Charlotte area, if you're in the Charlotte area, you actually can help us out by being committed to the service, help us feed the people. It's going to be on Sugar Creek and Reagan, Charlotte, North Carolina, December 21st. We're going to start feeding the people around 3 o'clock. Now, like I said, it's going to be something to give back. And you can give back too, man. Please don't think that you can't make a difference, that you really can't do something that's righteous. You know what I mean? That will make an impact in the community. We need you. We need you. And I put the Cash App in there, the Wallow 141. And I'll also give you an address. I'm gonna start giving you an address. If y'all would like to send something, just send it. Just send it. Y'all can send paper towels. Y'all can send cups. Y'all can order this stuff from Amazon or whatever, and just help us out, man. Like help us help somebody. Help us help somebody. We got to look out for our own, man. We got to look out for our own, man. And whether you think that these people are your people, and somewhere you've been in a lot of us been in the struggle. You know what I'm saying? It would be better to pull someone out with that lion's grip, all right, and be the difference. Okay, so that's all I want to say. I love y'all, man. I gave it everything I can give. All right, y'all have a